I think I've spent my career in three kinds of organizations: hardware, software, and services. And some have had a mix of these flavors. And really, as I saw the transition of the industry to go to a cloud platform, it was my aspiration to work for a company that's at the cutting edge of technology, as well as in an environment where I get the opportunity to create. In the past, I've largely led very large businesses, very large workforces. It was just timely. The opportunity came from the Google Cloud leadership, and the conversations kind of checked a few boxes for me. It was a great company. Google's investing very big in terms of both people as well as technology. As enterprises embrace technology, the one very important translation layer that is needed is people, because enterprises need a curated journey as they especially embrace newer technology. There has to be a very strong understanding of existing environments for enterprises, unlike in a lot of cases in consumer, where consumers don't have much legacy in that sense. But enterprises need a very strong understanding of their captive environments, their existing IT environments, how they integrate, how do you migrate, and help them embrace. So people is a very important translation layer in the enterprise business. So a lot of our hiring in the past, including some of the folks that you mentioned and many others in the leadership team that we have brought on, are a reflection of the fact that we are bringing in the best of enterprise talent. And I've always believed that in a technology industry, while technology is a differentiator, talent is also the biggest differentiator. So we are just reinforcing in that direction. Just increasing the focus on cloud, the focus on our core consumer stays. There is enough and more opportunities on the consumer side working with India. And honestly, in a large company like Google, we all work together. I don't think reporting lines are important. Sanjay and I work very closely. The power of one Google really is a big differentiator for us. Having said that, we are absolutely dialing up on our investment in enterprise, which is reflective of the investments we've made. Whether it's on infrastructure, we announced the second region in Delhi, a second region for Google Cloud, which will be in Delhi. We are making investments on hiring people. We have scaled up significantly on our workforce. We have scaled up on our partner ecosystem, our customer engagement. You've seen the hiring early of Anil Bhansali, who came in to lead the Google Cloud Engineering Center in India. We have a fairly large support organization that supports global customers, and we are hiring very strong leadership in India. We had earlier hired Priyadarshi Mohapatra, who came in. Then we had Anil Valluri. So I think there have been very significant hires, but there is a very significant dial-up on just our ability to reach customers, both in enterprise as well as mid-market segments of the country and public sector as well. First, to start with developers, I think for any platform company, engaging with developers is an absolute non-negotiable. Google's been doing it for a very long time and continues to do it. Developer productivity really impacts an enterprise's top and bottom line. And customers will choose the cloud platform and tool set that not only enables them to be most effective and efficient, but also the one that allows them to innovate on scale. Enterprises will need very strong, skilled talent that know how to thrive in a cloud-first world. So we've had a strong outreach into the developer ecosystem more broadly, as well as the developer ecosystems inside enterprises. If you just see how Google Cloud Platform came about, it really supports the largest services globally, at least 9 services that I can think of, that support over 1 billion users, that has been built on the Google Cloud Platform. The security model is an end-to-end process built over 15 years of experience, focused on keeping customers safe on applications like Gmail, Google Apps, etc. So with the cloud platform, applications and data take advantage of the same security model. The network's a differentiator, Anand, very clearly. The backbone, Google's backbone network uses very advanced software-defined networking and edge caching services to deliver fast, consistent, and scalable performance. And then there is differentiation that we have very clearly on many innovations, like the one that we have on the data platform, the application modernization platform, our API ecosystem, our API platform. There is very clear differentiators that we have. Look, I firmly believe that this is very early days for the cloud. what is most important is a customer's journey to the cloud. That's of paramount importance. There are varying indications on how much of the overall workload percentage has moved to the cloud. My conviction is, from all data points I've seen, it's between 20 and 25%, which means upwards of 75% of workloads, which is now the mission critical workloads, still need to get to the cloud. We are mindful of competition. We have a very strong plan to find our place in the ecosystem. Too early to call anything on the competitive front right now. All market challenges, market transitions also offer an opportunity for us to reinvent the way we work. A lot of assumptions that originally we all had about the use of technology, about things like working from home, have all been challenged and demolished actually during the COVID times. We've seen how organizations, some of them, not all, have actually implemented 100% work from home. So the opportunity post-COVID is a fewfold. One is reinventing the way of working. That's a very clear opportunity. The second is leveraging investments in technology through OpEx versus CapEx. As companies come out of COVID, Anand, it's very clear they will have to conserve every single dollar of capital that they have for their core business. And yet they're going to need technology to reinvent in many different ways. Technology adoption will have to get much more bolder in these organizations. Decisions will have to be less people-centric, more tech-centric in that sense. Cloud does offer a very different consumption model of technology, which is very OpEx-centric. People can lower the entry barrier of technology using the color of money changes. I feel that there is an opportunity for the technology consumption model to fundamentally change post this world, and all CEOs, all CXOs will have to make sure as they emerge out of this crisis, they have everything at the table and they are relooking at the way of working for the future. Customers, Anand, are very, very mature now. They're very mature. They're not fearful of change. They're not fearful of embracing technology. They will go for what is available in the market that suits them the best. Let's take let's for simplicity divide organization into two types. The very cloud native ones who have always been cloud first and build their infrastructures. The second ones, more traditional enterprise and how they are looking now to change. Let me address it from both perspectives. Most digital natives will look for multi-cloud options at this time. They understand the need for optimization. They have engineered and grown in a certain manner. Possibly, I usually say that a lot of digital natives were engineered for growth times. They will look at an opportunity to optimize. We are seeing multiple instances of working with digital natives. Equally so, traditional enterprises. They've already shown that no enterprise today in the country, Anand, is served by any single platform. It's a multi-platform environment. So that is why it is so important to lead with the technology differentiation and the solution selling. And I think no better than our CEO has articulated this. And to the point on incumbency, Anand, I want to be also pretty vehement in the point that yes, some enterprise vendors will have incumbency in some parts of the organization. But the way Google serves, and Google as a company, I'm not just saying Google Cloud, the way Google as a company serves an enterprise, whether it is on their digital side, their ads side, their media side, and now the infrastructure applications through the cloud. I think our outreach to customers is very, very, very broad. We add much higher value to a customer's business than in some of our competition who largely address IT problems. So I would say that Google's impact on an enterprise is much broader and much higher impact than a lot of the competition that you've been speaking about. There is enough differentiation on network, storage, compute. And then, of course, we have differentiation on things like data, on AI, on ML, on APIs. The Indian customer pyramid. It's a reality that India is mid-market and SMB country. There is obviously the top 500,000 customers. All of us aspire to have a large share of the wallet in those customers. That's why we set up deep, competent engineering teams, sales teams to work with those top 1,000 customers. It's a traditional go-to-market model where you cover a few accounts with each seller and you drive deep engagement. Having said that, The real India starts when you get down to the mid of the pyramid. There are varying instances of how many businesses are there in India of all sizes. The number in all estimates goes upwards of 50 million. And the opportunity is for us to service the IT needs of all these customers. And the consumption model that the cloud affords today, allows us to serve them in a very seamless manner versus the very fragmented old way of servicing where they used to buy hardware and software and services separately and try pull them together. This is a very different way of serving. And that is why we are going out in the market with bold partnerships like the one that we had with Airtel, where we're now putting a lot of energy behind that partnership. There is always this intrigue in the minds of a CEO of how would Google address this problem, because Google always addresses with a digital first mindset. And, we've been having conversations with pretty much customers across all verticals as one Google to showcase each of the offerings stands on its own feet. They compete differently with their respective competitors, but the way Google comes together in terms of addressing the needs of a CEO or a CTO or a CIO, I think that story comes along very well when we show up as one Google in front of a customer.